Welcome back. I am Zoe Flowers. Let's get into this reading for the month of May 2026, your month ahead. All right, so we are actually starting out with the challenge of the month for some reason. What is the challenge this month for the collective, for the broader collective, for the eyes that see this video and hear this message? What is the challenge? Oh, okay. Interesting. So we have a little naive energy going on here. We have the Page of Cups, which is, about being a dreamer, being idealistic. But we also have the Eight of Cups in reverse, which has to do with fear of change, avoiding things, low self-esteem. And so it's almost like we also have the the Empress in reverse, which has to do with being insecure and being negligent. Let me make sure I'm correct in what I'm about to say. Can I get clarification on the Page of Cups? Okay. What I was wondering was if we were being dreamers and idealistic to hide insecurity and avoidance. But what I got was no. Can I get clarification on this Seven of Wands? Okay. Standing your ground. Seven of Wands. The first thing I got here was the Two of Wands as clarification. We're going to come back to that avoidance and that insecurity in a minute. We will need to stand our ground this month. We will need to, I'm hearing, stand up for what we believe in. And that is a risk for some of us. There might be a rivalry, a rival. Yeah. And the rival, here's my yes, could be our shadow. The rival could be ourselves. We could actually have, but because of these other cards, we could actually have an actual rival that we need to stand our ground against, but these other cards are so internal that I really feel like we are battling our own limitation, the restrictions we put on ourselves. We could be very frustrated with ourselves because perhaps 10 of Wands in reverse, learning to say no. This is a card of breakdown. This is a card of collapse. Is this people pleasing? This is a yes, and it's in reverse. People pleasing to avoid planning. people pleasing to avoid standing our ground. People pleasing to avoid making hard decisions, dealing with our own limitations, etc. Not wanting to say no because we want to be liked out of a sense of insecurity. That is only going to lead to disappointment. Tell me about the Page of Cups for the month of May. And did we start with the challenge? I can't even remember now. I think we started with the challenge. Okay. Tell me about the Page of Cups, idealism, innocence, dreamer, and I got justice in reverse. Is this about, like, again, not wanting to see the truth? Is this about rose-colored glasses? It is. It is. Out of that low self-esteem, that not knowing how to say no, and all of those things. Turning a blind eye to injustice and corruption. Is this also speaking about what we're seeing on a global scale? No. It's personal. Is this personal? The individual. Are you talking about the individual? Yes, we're talking about the individual. Oh, look, it says fearless. The month of May, is that calling us to be fearless? Wow. This is my wishes come true card. My cup runneth over. Your cup runneth over. We are called to be fearless. Knight of Cups, that's another yes. Make that art. Get involved in community care. Step outside of yourself. Step outside of yourself. The nature of Taurus is caring, is giving, is connecting, but it is overly concerned with the self sometimes, especially in the lower vibration. Yeah. That is a yes. That is a yes. That is a yes. And here's Queen of Pentacles showing up, which is obviously Taurus, because it's Pentacles, and then the Strength card, courageous confidence and bravery. So we're being asked to be very, very brave this month. We're asked to be very brave with our emotions. We're being asked to have courage. We're asked to nurture ourselves, be fearless, and believe and make moves. The gift of May. The gift. Oh my God. Mother Earth. Adama. Mother Earth. That's interesting. That's very Taurian, isn't it? That's Taurus if I ever saw it. Mother Earth. Abundance is on its way. It's time for you to receive the world. When Adama shows up in an oracle reading, it's a sign from your guidance system and the universe that your wishes are well on their way. It will happen in divine timing, so patience is required. The lesson in this card is to tap into the magic that exists in nature all around you. Living in a modern society has disconnected us from our human birthright as early witches and wizards. Remember, I asked about the gift of Taurus season. Now, what's interesting, we have the spiritual magic just sitting here under this Mother Earth. So that's interesting. So I want to get into that too. Take time to commune with the stars, walk through the forest, place your toes in sand at the beach, set your intentions or practice a magic ritual outside. Have trust and faith that your manifestations are in process. Adam and Lilith were created from the dust of Mother Earth. Adama is the Hebrew word for soil or ground. And here we are, Taurus season, which is earth. In alchemy, earth represents reality and structure, and is one of the mystical elements needed to create matter in the physical realm. Water, air, and fire all stem from earth as an energetic foundation. Things you can see, touch, or smell with your senses are all of earth. Earth is a metaphor for the people, places, and things that align under this energetic signature. The earth zodiac signs in astrology are Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So this is it. This is Taurus season. It's like, it's funny because I did the Taurus season last week, but this May reading is bringing it. Each of these signs invokes the different ways the earth energy moves and manifests in the world. Taurus invokes the abundance, wealth, beauty, and fertility that we need to thrive and feel safe in reality. Virgo is the practicality and perfectionism of earth that gets things done and hard work required to make dreams a reality. And so that's interesting, right? Because we had, right, the adventure, be extroverted, but we also had that strength card, being courageous. We also had that knight, being charming, but we also had that that Two of Wands, about planning, which is necessary. Capricorn is associated with structure, leadership, and discipline, which are needed to create stability. I feel like we were talking about that, like that discipline being needed. We talked about that. Interesting. Okay. So let's get into and again, that is the gift of May, is focusing on this earth energy, tapping into the earth energy, and maybe even being gifted ideas for new rituals. We did get a yes. It's in reverse, but it's a yes, so I'll take it. It's a weak yes, but I'll take it. All right, sublimation. This is the gifts of May still. Spiritual magic. Spirit, soul, vibration, and frequency are invisible superpowers we all possess. When you are in alignment, these spiritual forces magnetize, draw, and manifest your experience on this physical plane. It feels like the gift is also about manifestation. When sublimation oracle card appears, you are activating your light body. The belief is that you have a spiritual field around your physical form, acting as a light vessel. The ancient Egyptians called this the Merkaba, which is the Hebrew for chariot. When you are aligned and living your soul's purpose, your light body will vibrate higher, drawing support, abundance, joy, and elation. You can navigate your reality with no resistance, suffering, or fear. This is true spiritual empowerment. The scientific definition of sublimation is the shift of a solid substance into gas form with the use of heat without moving through the liquid phase, like when dry ice turns into vapor. During the magnum opus, this is when the physical ascends to the spiritual. Practically speaking, you can mentally mold your intentions and bring them into reality through your physical form. Last week, we talked about manifestation. I went step by step by step with manifestation. The sublimation phase requires faith in the unseen. That takes courage. That's that strength card. A deep trust in the universe to guide you toward your highest good. Integrate your imagination, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and spirit into physical form. Notice what exists in other dimensions, like creative ideas, concepts, or visions. Didn't I say something about art? And when one resonates, bring it down into solid reality through action. Go back and look at my reading from last week where I talked about manifestation step by step. Sublimation phase shadow work. Candle magic is a powerful form of divination. Typically, this is formed through a ritual where candles are dressed with herbs and oils to reach a goal or access a certain energy. This is how you blend the physical form into spirit through fire. Look for a ritual that fits you and incorporate it into your alchemical journey. You are tapping into the ethereal power of your being. This essence is attracting a bright new reality. Very, very powerful. We have the earth, we have sublimation, and then we have lead your life. May is giving us the opportunity to alchemize all those challenges, right? Through a step-by-step manifestation process. I really feel like, again, this is like going back to what we talked about last week, and maybe even doing candle work to move closer to whatever the goal is you have. What else do I want to say about this before we wrap up? So we're still under the full moon in Scorpio energy. So candle magic to release those, maybe since we got the strength card, a lack of faith. Candle magic to release fear is what I'm feeling. So we got be bold and make the first move. So I feel like the first move is doing that ritual work. Show the world who you really are. Again, that takes courage. Crystal ally for the month of May, please. Oh God. Okay, period. Oh my God. So we have Chrysocolla. I do love Chrysocolla. I used to have some Chrysocolla. And it says earth, unconditional love, cleanse. Known for cleaning the aura of toxins, Chrysocolla is a great crystal to use when experiencing high stress and burnout. The surface resembles a pristine oceanic view. This aerial vantage point helps you gain perspective on situations hitting too close to home. Take a step back when those situations arise and remember to prioritize your needs first. Deeply connected to the energy of the earth, Chrysocolla reminds us to get in touch with our feminine side. Hello, Taurus. The part of us connected to the power of us connected to our capacity for unconditional love. Not it resonating to Taurus and Virgo and Venus. And we just was talking about earth signs, and Venus rules Taurus for those of you that are new here. And then the other one we have is calcite. Amplify, cleanse, open. Double trouble. Calcite has a unique optical quality. When you are looking through the stone, it appears doubled. Calcite can amplify energy for higher awareness and healing, pairing well with other crystals, taking on their attributes to increase their metaphysical abilities. A powerful dissolver, calcite transforms negative energy for release and renewal. It also aligns the chakras, cleansing the aura of toxicity and renewing energy flow. Calcite reminds you there is always a new beginning. You just have to decide where to start. Resonates to Venus. Last one, and I'm only going to read it because it is red jasper and it resonates to Scorpio. And we was just talking about that full moon Scorpio, which is ruled by the planet Mars. And Aries is in Mars today. Or Mars is in Aries, whatever. Justice, strength, stability. Red jasper. Red jasper works closely with the base chakra and heals any wounds surrounding injustice and grounding you back to earth. I can't. I'm done. I can't. Red jasper alleviates chronic worry, clearing mental blockages to make space for balanced emotions and thoughts. Working with the base chakra, red jasper can also help heal issues related to sex, inviting you to explore your sexuality in healing ways, providing stability and protection. Red jasper balances yin and yang, expressing the masculine and the feminine energies that feel safe and yet nourished. So these are 3 amazing crystals to work with this month. Okay, red jasper, calcite, and chrysocolla. They're all pretty easy to find too if you don't have them. You could carry them around. You could, you could carry them around. You could put them under your pillow. I would suggest meditating with them, putting it on your third eye, putting on your heart, putting it on your base chakra. I love it. That's all I got. Get to work. I'm Zoe Flowers. I'll see you soon. Bye.